Hello, everyone, and welcome to the vlog. So, we are here. It is currently December 1st. It's the afternoon of December 1st, or evening actually, and we are getting ready for a fun filled week. I got home from work and had a fun package at the door. I got the yarn today for my Roomy Raglan. I bought enough of this yarn for both me and my best friend. We are doing a buddy knit, and this is going to be her first ever project, and I'm so excited, so ecstatic. I could not wait for her though. I ordered them both to my house because she's actually come to visit, or she's coming to visit, so this will be perfect for me to just already have it here. She's going to bring some needles and I'm going to teach her how to knit. And I chose the Roomy Raglan. I originally sent her the step by step sweater, but then I started thinking about the Roomy Raglan and I was like, why not? Why not? Because the step by step sweater has short rows in it, optional short rows, which I would always, I'm actually wearing, oh my gosh, I'm actually wearing the step by step sweater right now, but it has optional short rows, which I was going to make her do anyways because there's a lot riding on this for me. This is my best friend. I want her to knit so bad. So I'm going to do everything in my power for her to fall in love with knitting and fall in love with the end garment to help her possibly fall in love with the process. And short rows are going to be a part of that. I'm not going to let her be scared of them, and it's going to help it fit. So, all that to say, if you really, I mean, it's a raglan with short rows, the Roomy Raglan is, and the step by step sweater is a raglan with short rows. Both of them are free patterns. The only difference is the step by step sweater does have the video, but she has me in real life. So that is unbeatable, unimaginable, not unimaginable. What am I trying to say? It's priceless. Priceless, that's the word. But I didn't think it was too much of an undertaking for her. So I'm really excited. I'm actually so excited. There is a lot. It's just it does feel like a lot of pressure because I want it to stick so bad. She's a career woman though. She's in grad school and she's probably not going to be knitting and consuming knitting this at the same rate that I am, but either way, it's okay. I'm just excited to have someone because I have literally zero people in my life that knit. But all that to say, I got the yarn. I texted her and was like, oof, how mad would you be if I cast it on without you? She was like, go ahead. Like, I'm not gonna, like, you're gonna fly through it compared to me anyway. So you can just go ahead and do the steps. That way, when I'm there, you can be able to help me with them. So love her for that. But I got the yarn and specifically wanted to cast on and get it going because I'm actually traveling this weekend and it's literally a raglan I think is probably the perfect thing to take. Split for sleeves, do the body. There's really no seaming, like nothing crazy. So I just think it's a good travel project. The one crazy thing is that I did start the Harlow sweater v-neck probably like 3 days ago now. And I was trying to think back. I don't think I have ever worked on two sweaters at once. I've had a lot of projects going on at once, but two sweaters I don't think I've ever done. Or maybe even two garments at once. I really don't think so. And I mean, like, I may have some whips in the back, which I actually don't right now. I don't have any garment whips. The only, like, real whips that I have is I have a few lingering that I haven't touched for probably over a year, but we're not gonna talk about that. Like I said, the Roomy Raglan is just it's gonna be a good travel project. The Harlow V-neck, I think, has more of the construction that I'm used to, that working one side, like, working the back in that trapezoid shape, doing each shoulder, doing the front, doing the neck, like just a lot of choppy pieces in the beginning. And I wasn't confident that I could get myself in the round stockinette before I leave on Saturday. Yeah, we leave Saturday. We're just doing a one night stay in Catalina for their tree lighting. I'm so excited. I'm also so excited to wear my snow sweater. I'm going to take it, probably wear it both days, all day. And I'm so excited. I did a whole project vlog on making my Christmas sweater for this year, which is the snow sweater by Pernell Larson. So if you haven't watched that one, go watch that vlog. It was fun. I also decorated for Christmas there. So that was really fun. Trying to think of what else I have to fill you guys in on. Oh, it is December 1st, so I did start my advents today. Me and my best friend, the same one that I'm knitting with, bought a bunch of matching advent calendars so that we could open them every day. And I got this guy. Let me make sure it's not hot. Oh, it's a little hot. We got the Anthropology Advent Calendar, and it's a 12-day, so we're doing one every other day. And the first day was this vanilla bean candle. I think it's all scents. It's all candles or scented items. And I've had that going since I got home like 2 hours ago, and it smells amazing. I'm so excited. I haven't burned a candle, like other than I have a beeswax candle, like a natural candle. I haven't burned a candle other than that one in a long time. I have a Pura, but it's just not the same like cozy vibes as burning a candle. But either way, oh, I don't even think I talked about my gauge swatch because I am a responsible knitter now. Look at me, and did a gauge swatch, but not because of that. It was mainly because I did want to send it to my friend to show her how the yarns worked up. And I don't know if you guys can see. Let me show you. I did the gauge swatch with multiple different yarns. I held 3 different colors of knitting for olive merino because I did in fact crash out when I saw these colors and knew immediately that I wasn't going to get the marl that I wanted. Actually, I don't know if I even said, but this is knitting for olive merino in the color hazel, and this is the Cascade ecological wool in the color chocolate. And as soon as I saw them out of the package, I was like, yep, that's not going to marl the way that Jules's beautiful sample photos of the Roomy Raglan did. Take a shot for every time I say Roomy Raglan in this clip. I knew I had some scraps of some different knitting for olive merino colors, so I went and got them, and I did the first few rows in hazel, the color that I chose. This light marl color is powder, and then it's really hard to see, but I did some in the color brown bear to see like a darker fingering weight held with the bulky to see how that would marl. And in the end, I decided that hazel was the best looking out of all of these. And I had already ordered 2 sweaters quantities worth of these colors. So I was just happy to just uncrash out, take away my crash out, or get through over the hill of the crash out. We're going to cast on now and just get started. I'm so excited. I'm ready. I think that this is going to fly by. The majority of the sweater is knit on, I think, 6.5 millimeter needles, which I think is the largest I've ever knit with. Stay tuned and I'll update you guys soon. Hello guys, we have fast forwarded to Friday. It is Friday, it's 9 p.m., and I am trying to get my house and my life together before I leave tomorrow morning for Catalina. It has quickly approached, but I'm very, very excited. And now I'm thinking about the knitting projects that I'm going to bring. It is one night, 2-ish days. We get there tomorrow. So I have the car ride, which I probably will not be able to knit on, the ferry ride to Catalina, which I will be drugging myself with Dramamine and hopefully be able to knit. Throughout the day, I think we're going to be in and out of shops and events, and maybe the only knitting time will be waiting for like food places, like waiting to be seated, or while I'm waiting for food. I'm not quite sure. And then nighttime knitting before bed. So, all of that to say, and then obviously all of that the next day with the return. All of that to say, I don't know what to bring. So I started this vlog, this video, starting the Roomy Raglan because it's a raglan. It's such an easy pattern, and I thought that it would be the most absolute perfect thing to bring with me. But this is the reason that it's not. I don't know if you can tell, but this is pretty massive. I don't know if holding it up to my head is that great of an indicator because I have a big head, but this is a big thing of yarn. This will not comfortably fit in most of my small, cute project bags for me to carry on my person throughout the day. Not to mention the actual sweater itself, because it's bulky weight, it is a lot bigger. It does smush down, but still not to a comfortable place for it to be like an easy on the go situation. So it's made me think about what I want to do, but first I'm going to pause and I'm actually going to show you guys my Raglan, my Roomie. I've been calling it my Roomie, but my Roomie Raglan. I'm not sure how well you can see her, but she is a star. She has quickly become probably my favorite ever process knit. And I truly attribute that to the yarn combination. It's just rustic enough, but also just squishy enough to be really enjoyable. And I really think that is also may become my favorite ever finished object just from my one try on that I've done, which was right after I finished the yoke and split for the sleeves. I tried this on and it was just fitting beautifully, the perfect amount of oversized. The neck was so comfortable. My last few sweaters that I've done a folded over collar neck and knit it with the first row, knit it down. Both of those were are such tight collars that they are extremely uncomfortable to put on and off. And just the ease of how I put this on and off made me really realize that the putting on and off and the tight collar does kind of turn me off from my other sweaters, which is crazy. It is a fix I can do, and I just probably need to. But either way, this has just been so enjoyable. I can't even describe it. If you have not knit this or if it's on your plans, like I would highly recommend moving it up because it's been great. That being said, I did make a modification on the underarm with the cast on stitches. So first of all, I casted on 14 stitches. It recommends that, or it tells you to cast on 12. I cast it on 14 on each side just because it's a one size fits all pattern, and I'm not always a one size fits all type of gal, and I just wanted to make sure that I was getting that good oversized look that I want. So I just gave myself a little bit of extra room so that I'm not upset with how it fits. And the second thing was I didn't use the backwards loop cast on like it recommended to cast on those underarm stitches. I did the knit cast on. This is actually the first time I've ever done that, but I am consistently unhappy with the backwards loop cast on the underarm and the pickup. I know everybody kind of has that problem with the pickup and having holes, and I have tried a few fixes to try to mitigate, like get rid of that. And I've never found the perfect fix. So I'm trying the knit cast on, and I'm really going to be intentional with how I pick up my stitches as well to try to not have any holes in the underarms. If there are, I'll just sew them up like I always do. But Either way, those are just two other modifications that I've made other than ones we've talked about so far. And I also did want to talk about this just really quickly. I saw somebody else on TikTok knitting this. She's actually like one of my favorite creators I watch. Her name is Courtney. I think she just has TikTok and Instagram, but she is kind of combining this with the step by step sweater. And one modification that she did is she knit the collar last instead of first because it can kind of stretch out and it loses a little bit of structure knitting it. It's like starting with the collar and then going directly into the raglan because all that pressure is on just the cast on instead of at a seam here. I will say I did a modification with my snow sweater by Pernell Larson, which I actually just finished. It's a circular yoke, and I made the exact modification that she did. I didn't start with the collar, I added it on after. But I actually think that this pattern benefits from starting with it because it does stretch out. But because it's knit with such a smaller needle than the body, it stretches out at the bottom part of the collar, but not the top. And that stretch allows the collar to kind of almost a, I don't know the correct terminology, but like a funnel, like mock neck situation, but then stretch out and the collar kind of continues down your neck a little. All of that to say, that's my update on the Roomy Raglan. Back to the issue at hand, which is why I wanted to talk to you guys, is I don't think this is going to be my travel project. I think I'm still going to take it and knit it probably on the ferry, probably in the hotel, but I wanted something just in case to have on my person walking around Catalina in case I got those few little moments to knit. I have burned myself many a times by not bringing my knitting because I'm like, I'm not going to have time. And I've regretted it almost every single time because it's always when I don't bring it that I have time. And it's always when I do bring it that it ends up never touched. So I'm not making the mistake anymore. I would much rather have it than be bored and have my hands and my mind not busy because boredom is cancer. Sorry, that is a little dramatic, but so I went to my yarn pantry and yarn cabinet, yarn stash, whatever you want to call it. I don't know why I've taken to calling it a yarn pantry, but my thought was I want something small. I want something portable and easy and mindless that I can take. And I first thought of a sock. And I actually do have a sock whip, which is my Christmas sock. It is an entirely 2x2 sock. Don't know if you can see it very well. And I've done the cuff, the leg, and I've even done the slip stitch heel. I just have to pick up stitches for, I'm not quite sure the terminology there, the gusset, the turn, whatever. I have to pick up the stitches, start doing the decreases to get back to my original 64 stitch count. So it's not really at a good place. If I had just cast it on and I needed to do all of this work, I would take this, but I'm not there. So I don't think I want to take this. I haven't touched, I casted this on like maybe 3 weeks or a month ago at this point and haven't touched it since I got to this point, which is quite tragic. But I was in this exact same situation. I knew I was going to have a few hours where I needed to be outside of my home and wanted a quick project. So all of this was what I did. But needless to say, I don't think that one's at a point that I want to bring it anywhere. I need to sit and do that at home. So then my next rational thought was, okay, not a sock, because I'm also not letting myself have two sock whips at the same time. So I will not be starting another sock. So it's like, not a sock. So what about a Sophie scarf? Because that is just every knitter's next thought for a mindless project, right? Right. Okay. So I went to go see what type of yarn I had for a Sophie scarf. And I knew I had a little bit of leftovers from my Oslo beanie. And I always had the thought of maybe I could make myself my own winter set. And I did make my perfect beanie, which was the Oslo beanie in one strand of Knitting for Olive compatible cashmere and one strand of merino in licorice. It's the perfect beanie for every day, but I don't know that I want that to be my winter set beanie because it's black. And I just think my winter set should be like more of a fun color, maybe because just because that's what I think. All that to say, I only have 18 grams of the cashmere and I do have a full ball of the merino. This just isn't enough I needed more of the cashmere to hold this double to make the Sophie scarf. And I could fudge up some stuff where like maybe I knit till the cashmere was over and then just started holding two strands of the merino and just knit till both of these were gone. But in the end, that just sounds like a little bit more brain power and more work than I want this situation to be. So then I was like, okay, what about another color? So I have this yarn. This is leftover yarn from my cloud tee. It is a hand dyed yarn that I bought at Flock. It is Plies and Hellhounds yarn. It's their silky base. It's non superwash merino and silk. I love this color. This is probably my favorite color on myself that I've ever worked with. Anyways, I weighed this. This is a light fingering and I have 58 grams of it. So it's a DK pattern, the Sophie scarf, which it's very customizable. So I've been sitting and thinking, can I make this work? Like maybe knit it with a smaller needle than is suggested, which I'm not even quite sure what is suggested, but I could knit it with the same needle that I knit my cloud tee in, or maybe even one size up. And I thought about just spacing the decrease or increases and decreases out further. So it ended up being like a longer, skinnier scarf. So I still got the wraparound that I want. And that may end up being what I do because I don't know what else I would use this amount of this yarn for other than like some kind of made up pattern in my mind like this. So I think this may be the winner. It's still a little bit more brain power than I'm wanting to use on this project, but I think it will work. I hope it will work. I'm also going to look up and see people's tips of how they keep up with their rows on the Sophie scarf because I've never been able to read my rows in garter like that. So I'm going to look that up, see if I can figure it out. And if I can, this will probably be what I bring. And we'll just have to see what I end up doing. I may just add like 2 extra rows in between the increases and the decreases to kind of make it longer and skinnier and see how that goes. This kind of made me realize maybe my stash isn't too big because how do I not have a perfect project like that just to pull out and go? I feel like I need to have a few Sophie scarves just waiting to be knit up, like surely. This is me being delusional and trying to justify buying new yarn, or more new yarn, but I'll have to update you guys along the way to see what we bring and how much knitting we get done. Hopefully we do get some work on the Roomy done because I'm so ready to wear this. So ready to wear this. But also do think this would be such a cute scarf. I do hope it works out. And I may actually bring my cloud tee with me to wear in Catalina because I love that tea. That's about all I have for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in Catalina. Okay, hello and welcome back. We are back like we never left, honestly. It's currently Monday. It's 8:30 p.m. and I just figured I'd come back, give you guys a wrap up on the trip, on what we got done on the trip, and kind of close out the vlog. So, as far as the trip went, it was beautiful. Catalina is great. I feel like it's the perfect one night stay if it's feasible and close to you. I definitely recommend it. I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but I have been one other time, and that was Thanksgiving in 2024. And this time it was way less crowded, which was nice. But it was a quick, easy trip, lots of just looking around at shops, enjoying the pier and the water, just spending time with a good friend. So it was nice. As far as projects go, I did get a good amount done on my Roomy Raglan. I'll show you guys now. I'm not sure if you can tell very much, but I'm only 1 inch. I'm going to get my inches and centimeters correct today. I'm only 1 inch away from starting the ribbing on the body, and I'm quite excited about it. I'm still loving it. I'm still so excited. I'm hoping I'm going to be on track to get it done by my little arbitrary deadline that I've set for myself. I'm just really excited about it, and I'm excited to start the ribbing. And I think the sleeves, everything that I've seen from other people that have knit this, the sleeves go by so fast because the yoke is so deep. So it's going to be, I think, a quick, possibly this week, possibly just a quick finish. And I'm so excited to wear it. I think it's going to be my best sweater. I know I've said that a million times, but. So the other thing that I ended up taking with me, I'm sure you guys saw me knitting it, was the yarn, my scrap yarn for a Sophie scarf. Sophie scarf, not shawl. And I actually went through a few iterations of this. I started knitting it with one strand and realized that it basically, like, Sophie scarves aren't that functional anyways. I think they're definitely more for aesthetics. Sorry, ladies, doing cute stuff over here. But it was just like a little too thin. Like, it didn't even look that good. So I just started pulling from the center and the outside of this little ball that I have left and started over holding two strands. Oops, sorry. And now I think it's too dense. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be finishing this. I don't know if maybe I'll restart it and use a larger needle because obviously I was limited. I only brought this needle. So we'll see. I don't think it'll be bad, but it is a little stiff for like a little scarf moment. I'm not really sure. I'm definitely not going to be working on it anytime soon. I just really needed something to keep my hands busy, and it served its purpose for that. So we'll just have to see. I do think it is the perfect project for the little bit of yarn that I have left. I did change the increases without giving too much of the pattern away, I guess, even though I do think it's kind of crazy that this is a paid pattern, but I changed the increase rate. I added two so that it would be like longer and skinnier, basically, just because I was worried about yarn, how much yarn I have. I mean, the more I look at it, the more I really think that it's a little too dense now. It should be a little cutesier. I don't know what will happen with that. Actually, I do know what will happen. That I am going to frog that, and I will probably, honestly, I will recast it on with a larger needle. I don't know if I'll do it anytime soon. Maybe when I'm on my way. Maybe this will be a good travel project for when I'm on my way to Alabama for the holidays. Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. And then I could go ahead and split this up into two balls, one for the increases, one for the decreases, so that I don't have to think as much. I think I might have mentioned this as well in the clip before. I was going to try to read my stitches in garter so that I didn't have to keep up with the increases, and it didn't really work. I just, especially in the beginning, there's just so little fabric on the end. There was so little fabric. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to have to keep track. So I just kept my phone out and just tallied it up. I'm super lazy. I just open my calculator and press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever number I'm going to. I just press it on my calculator. I guess I wonder if does this mean I'm more of a process knitter than a finished object knitter? Because it doesn't hurt my heart at all to frog this again. This will be my second time frogging it. Yeah, I don't know. Trip was great. I'm glad you guys spent a week with me, a Christmassy week with me, and got to see my knitting along the way. It's about all that I have for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I will catch you next time. If you enjoyed this and want to see more of everything I have to offer, like, subscribe, and we'll have some more videos coming soon. Bye.